SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. Should we force employees to come back to the workplace, or are we worrying about nothing? These are questions confronting many small businesses. Founder of Uncapped Potential, Marnie Brokenshire, wants to make one thing clear, that there is no one-size-fits-all solution for getting workers back. But as she tells Jeff Waters, it's never too late to come up with a solution.
If you haven't yet laid down the gauntlet and you're starting from the beginning, then the creating an irresistible workplace strategy is the go. You know, the concept of what's in it for people, what's my comms strategy, why should they, and what are you going to do to make it great? If the horse has bolted and the mandate's been laid down and people are basically miserable and coming to work because they've been told they have to, then you are a little bit on the back foot and you have to sort of really, I think, address the elephant in the room. I am a 100% advocate for strong leaders who are prepared to stand up and say, you know what, we got it wrong. We probably could have handled this better. We need this change to happen. Here's all the reasons why, and that we're contextualising and individualising those communication pieces for people to be able to very much connect personally to the why. But where do we go from here? How do I win back your trust? And how do I win your support? And how do we make this a good thing for everybody?
Well, how do I make you get up in the morning and get on the train and travel an hour to work is more to the point, really. I'm sure that if the office was in the next room, everybody would go to work.
True. And Nirvana is not only how do I get you out of bed and on that bus for an hour, but how do I make you feel excited or, if that's too ambitious, happy about it?
Yeah.
I think there are three sort of key things that leaders can be thinking about. The first one is the gradual approach. Many people will be familiar with the parable of the boiled frog. I always cite Peter Senge, who's a theorist in learning organisations, when I use that analogy. But in short, some people just need to warm up to change, and one size does not fit all. So the start of your compelling FOMO strategy, the concept of people want to come to work because they don't want to miss out because whatever's going to go on there is going to be worthwhile. The start of that strategy is to be patient. We're going to be prepared to take the time that we need to take to get it right, and we're happy to allow a gradual approach to easing people back in to the environment. And each time they come, we're going to make it great. Not task-focused, but people purpose-driven. And that will hopefully give them a taste of wanting to come back again. And you're building on that, like you're adding the building blocks.
It might sound a bit Machiavellian, but would it be an idea to gently and subtly foster competition between workers in the office so that they feel that they need to be there to keep up?
I absolutely think that that is an important part of the strategy. You want to have a situation where you're engaging in activities that are people purpose driven. So they're about the individual, leaders having one-on-one conversations where they're asking questions about what people want to do and where they want to go, and drawing out from them sort of the new things that they might want to learn or experience or be exposed to, and creating those opportunities so that other people learn about it and say, well, what about me? Well, if you come in and we have these types of conversations, then we're going to create those opportunities for you too. So I kind of call it the FOMO strategy, but it is around creating those opportunities. And there has been a lot of debate around this topic as it extends to career progression. You know, how do you expect to advance your career when you are not face to face with key decision makers? And I think that's real. You've got to find also individuals need to take some ownership for finding opportunities to demonstrate how great they are in front of the people that are making those decisions. And that can be so much more powerful face to face because there's so much more to you and what you have to offer than just getting shit done.
That's an extremely good point, Marnie. But if you're in the position of being the direct employer of these people, or for instance, if you're a small, medium-sized enterprise and you don't have that middle management situation to help you, how can you get that idea across to employees that by being in the office with you, they are benefiting in their career progression?
It has to be done in the conversation. I think the art of the coaching and mentoring conversation is a skill set that needs to be really developed. A lot of people think they're really great at those discussions, but they're not. And it can never be about you. It can only be about the person that you're talking with. So even without a middle management layer, your job then is to be the person responsible for inspiring and motivating those people to want to spend time with you, be around you and interact with you. Now, you have to be a great leader first. And for many, that's the number one challenge, which is actually my second point in terms of the resistance piece, is you just have to have great leadership competency. And you know, Jeff, in all my years, there are a handful of people that I can say that was something that came very naturally. But for most of us, we're a work in progress and we have to continue to build that leadership competency. It's like a lifelong journey. You sort of don't get to a point where you go, tick, perfect leader. There is no such thing. So if we're inspiring others, we have to check ourselves first, and we have to have really highly developed emotional intelligence. And then we have to leverage the cultural premise of reframing resistance as feedback and not pushback. And that as leaders, we're skilled and adept at having empathetic conversations about, so where are they coming from? Why don't they want to be here? Stand in the shoes of the aggrieved, if you like, and have that in-depth insight in order to be able to work out how to address it. And then if you are going to make promises like I talked about before, promises of creating opportunity and having a people purpose-driven approach, then you have to deliver that commitment.
It sounds like as a leader, you have to make sure that you're not just objecting to working from home on an ideological basis. I want to see you working. I need to see you at your desk. It sounds like you're putting the employee and their self-interest first. Is that correct?
Yeah, you just have to do that. And I think if you are the leader that's sitting there saying, I want them here because my love language is presenteeism, then the leader with that thought process needs to do some training around how you maximize the employment experience for people and how you get the most out of people, because you don't get the most out of people with that mindset. There's been a lot of commentary, again, you will have seen it, I'm sure, Jeff, around sort of keystroke monitoring for a lot of roles that have a data entry style positions that have been working from home, and, workplaces are monitoring productivity, in inverted commas, by measuring people's keystrokes. And again, I bristle instantly, because that just screams to me that the culture first and the leaders don't have that basic level of trust, but they're not inspiring or motivating people the right way to want to do a good job. So we have to kind of monitor it or mandate their attendance for the wrong reason. They're all the wrong reasons. At a very simple level, we understand that humans are motivated by having agency, having competency, and having connection. So human beings need other human beings. We are oriented towards community. So what draws out of us with that is a sense of belonging. And when clever organisations who are fostering high trust, high performing environments are tapping into that sense of belonging, they're winning. People want to be good at what they do, and they want to get a sense of pride from the work that they perform. And they want to have a say. They need to have some input. So leaders have to say in their decision making, it has to be inclusive. How do we approach this? Here's what we need. This is what the business needs. What's your view on that? So there's some agency, there's some stake. They've put some skin in the game. I think if we're just sitting behind a desk, or worse, behind an email, and telling people that they just have to come to work because the boss wants to see their faces and that's it, that is going to fail.
That's Marnie Brokenshire, founder of Uncapped Potential. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow at BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel.